We are live. Let me refresh this thing. Make sure you can see us and hear us. YouTube, nothing yet. Still a little behind. There we go. All right. We are here in, right on time, too. So there we go. B was just live right now on eBay Live. Who gets the notifications in the chat?
Yeah. So from I think does do you get notification if you're just a follower in the store, or do you have to bookmark the show?
Or do you get notified because you're constantly like in the sneaker category?
Right, right, right,
Because I think maybe you just get it in general.
right.
If you're constantly in that, or if you're listing in that, or buying in that,
Hmm.
let me know in the chat. The man, misinformation in hand. Jimmy, what's up? Manny Fresh. Lucky on three legs. Rory Matt, flipping the hustle. There we go. Kevin. One kick finder. Walter. Wait for more people to come in. But today, it's kind of funny though. So today we had the cons of reselling is our title, and the reason why it is because there was a open forum conversation for people to, I guess, list what they feel are the cons of reselling, and some are pretty
Hmm.
funny, that are not really worth a con, and some might be a little legit. So we're gonna talk about those, and we'll get feedback from the chat and see what they say. Mr. Eric, what's up? Message KL. Now I think, I guess my message for the chat is, where's my banner thing to put on here? Where is this? Okay, here we go. We'll start off the show with this. How are sales, and how are you currently improving on in your business, or what are you currently improving on in your business? So open question for the chat. You can answer that question. The B right now. How are sales, and what are you improving on?
Hmm. Sales are better than what I expected to be, so that's
Okay.
good, right? Um, Especially heading into summer with everything, um, accounted for. I think it's pretty good. Better. I think we're just trying to source better. That's
Mm,
it. Trying to find deals. Obviously, we talk about when times like this, it's a buyer's market. So it doesn't mean that you just have to buy everything. That means you just have to sort through better items.
yeah.
So I think that's what we're trying to do. Uh, Still trying to get better.
Better sourcing for
Yep.
the most part. And not only that, but you're going to, I mean, we talked about it last week, but you're going to be going out of town for the conference right there for List Perfectly. So
Yep.
anybody
Yep.
in the Phoenix area, Arizona area, if you're going, B is ready. So he will be there this
Yeah.
later on this week.
Yeah, so we are gonna do Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you guys are interested, actually, we are giving away tickets for virtual tickets. So whoever's watching this, we're gonna have that for 24 hours. So just go to my IG. I made a post, and then just follow the instructions, and we're giving away the virtual tickets.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Let me go to the chat and see. Mr. Eric, camera gear, unstoppable. Walter, Poshmark, red hot right now. eBay has been good too, but not as hot as Poshmark. So Walter, Poshmark side, very good. DJ, sales are keeping gas in the car. All right, Rory, Matt, sales good for summer for certain. I like that. Sales have been pretty good right now for summer. For the most part, we know summer slowdown is there, but it's been pretty decent. Need to be able to sell Nike and Jordan. Any update on being banned because of Vero? One kick finder at B.
One Gig Finder. I think yours was um a multiple of things, correct? You, if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken, you've had prior strikes, so obviously it's a little bit more complicated than just Vero policy. I think that's what happened in your account, but yeah, I mean, I've submitted a lot of it, and also too for everybody um that's listening and have been waiting for the updates for the international shipping. We do have updates for that because I just got off a call. So maybe once people get in a little bit more, we can
Okay.
talk a little bit more about that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Big Noob says shoe sales are slow because low baller new resellers. So I'm selling more clothes lately. Wiley says any tips on getting first sales on Poshmark? I've been cross listing from eBay, but not getting any sales. So Wiley, I guess for the B, anything for Poshmark? I mean, you said you don't really have to do any of these. What are they
Yeah, I
called?
don't do the bots
Listing
and stuff
party
like that.
things
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do
Um,
that. I just go straight list. Yeah.
so you're just listing as much as possible, and
hmm
um, do you follow a lot of people on there or not really?
No, I haven't done any following or
Mm,
anything. I mean, before I did, just because that was what was taught. But again, eventually, product wins. Whatever good products you have, I think I've gotten a lot more followers just by listing good products compared to
mm.
anything else. Yeah.
Baker Brand, what's up? Inchomorph can't sell Jordans in Jordan. The irony. Mr. Eric, for a certain category I am focusing on, I feel like June, July is quarter four for electronics.
Hmm.
Intramorph, most people on Poshmark are cheapskates, don't expect to get the same kind of money there is on eBay, Goat, etc. And Wiley says, "All right, just keep listing." Yeah, and then even though I created my Poshmark store, I haven't been cross listing. I'm still been trying to catch up my
Right.
eBay listings, but definitely I want to get settled for Q4 and have everything cross listed. All right, we have 40 people right now. Our main topic. Oh, I guess Beef. You want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I did get a follow up with the listings that were um taken down as zero violations for the parallel import policy. So basically, uh, to give a summary, there's been listings that was taken down due to zero policy because we cannot sell certain Nike products to EU or EEU, certain countries, right? So what happened is the rollout happened in early in December. Obviously, a lot more people got was able to get in before December. But after December, the international shipping pretty much took over global shipping program. Now, the one of the main reasons why me and Glenn hasn't really gotten any stuff that was taken down because me and Glenn only did exclusively global shipping program, right? Me and Glenn didn't offer other forms of shipping internationally. Now, what happened is if you had, let's say you ship to Europe or Canada or certain countries using UPS, right?
mm-hmm.
When eBay International Shipping rolled out, now there's technically two options on the back end, right? So your listings could be showing as UPS ship to different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's when you get zeroed because you are not covered by eBay International Shipping.
Hmm.
So, um, what's happening now is you shouldn't. Um, eBay is willing to correct, or because there's been an error in the system. So, the biggest takeaway that I got from the conversation what we had is if you ship international, if you don't want any headache, edit your listings and only do eBay International Shipping because there might because with eBay International Shipping, they will cover you from any other zero violation. Now, the eBay zero violation when Nike scrapes the website and says like, "Oh, okay, Hustler Hacks has a shoe that can't be sold in Europe." What eBay will do is pretty much hide your listings to Europe and
Mm-hmm.
ban countries that you can't sell. So that's when you get an email saying no action needed.
Mm-hmm. The
So
good email.
you want the no action needed. Like probably in the last since we've talked, I've probably gotten 6 or 8 emails about like that
Mm.
saying
Okay.
no actions required. That's because that means eBay pretty much took care of it when Nike reported your listing, right? So um, that would be it. Either you only sell on eBay International Shipping Program, or you can bypass it, do it your own. You can ship it, but you just have to know which countries that are not allowed.
Mm.
Hence, like if like you research whatever 31 countries you exclude or something like that, then it won't. But certain he said monthly or weekly it could change. Policy could change. Certain countries should be allowed, certain countries could be banned. So that's why the goal of eBay International Shipping Program is to prevent that from happening so that we don't have to keep up with the news.
Mm.
So I would highly suggest edit every of all, just bulk edit your listing and then go to shipping, and then international only choose eBay International. And if there you get suspended from then and now, since early December, that's the timeline he gave me. Give me your account and they will review it and they will make you whole.
Okay.
Because there's been an instance where, let's say, Glenn, you have like three strikes already from listing, Jordan Gucci, and Gucci went after your account, right?
Oh.
and this has nothing to do with eBay International Shipping, right? Nothing international ship. It's just that you use certain words that you can't use, right? And then Velcro, right? Let's just say you've had other bureau violation, so you could be like on strike two, and then eBay International triggered it on your strike three, and then now you're suspended.
Mm.
That we can reverse, because you shouldn't be suspended, because eBay International shouldn't have caused that thing. He said there's been instances that it slipped out, slipped through the cracks. They're still, polishing the system, and so if that happens, email me. You all have my email, and I'll forward it to him. And then the other thing too is, Glenn, he's willing to hop in our live in 2 weeks.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think we definitely get him into the live
Yeah.
then.
So it's not just what you hear from me. It's really what. So he is in charge of the eBay US import um thing. So that's hopefully this will pretty much give us confidence that, like, okay, it's not just me saying this. It's them actually willing to come in and talk about it.
Okay. So yeah, I think we definitely need to do that, and then we can bring this eBay rep in, and we can have that conversation. We can take questions, Q&A as much as possible as well, and see and kind of maybe clear things up in case we run into some more issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mr. Eric, I feel bad for those sellers who would not get any answers. And that's the thing, though, too, right? Is like we don't know everything, and that's what we want to really clear up. And some things are tough, but the international thing did get a little weird.
Yeah,
Um,
because it was just a shift of the GSP, and then now,
yeah.
yeah.
Sneaker Pickers, what's up? Armand, what's up? Sneaker Pickers says, anyone else get an email recently from an eBay growth advisor
Hmm.
wants to help me organically grow my business because I'm a top sneaker seller this year?
Correct. Yes. I think you got one, didn't you?
Oh, I got a random phone call from eBay or something. They were like,
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm doing a call. We're going to talk about
Yeah.
metrics and stuff. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
really
And then I
happens?
know Sneakers Envy got in one.
Mm.
Um, and if any of you that's watching here, if you want to get a hold of eBay Growth Advisor, or some, forms of, because there's a lot of programs that eBay do. Obviously, eBay having millions of users. Um, it's hard, but if you're in the sneakers department, and you do this full time, and you're trying to scale this more and more, email me and say, I need a growth advisor, an account manager, or something like that. And if you're not hating on me, I'll definitely push your.
I
If you're not a hater, I'll definitely get you to some people. If you're a hater, I'm gonna have to think about
have to think
it.
about it.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, that's how it goes, right? I mean, why would I push a hater through? But I got you. But I got you.
Positive outcome. What's up, Mr. Eric? Oh, I for the same email, but I really don't do shoes. Interesting, Mr.
No, it's
Eric.
for every. It's for every. The growth advisor. The growth advisor. They have them in different category. It just so
Oh, okay.
happened that we have a better connection with sneakers now because
Mm,
that's what we've been
okay.
doing. But yeah, every category has it. Yeah.
All right, let's get into our main topic. We have 55 people in here. And the reason why we're doing this topic was because I said there was like an open forum, people getting or typing in their answers of what they feel are the top reselling cons.
Hmm.
And this is what their main comment was. YouTubers say, which I, therefore, am a YouTuber, say reselling is amazing, but don't tell you every detail. What are the cons? I guess us YouTubers would make it look easy. It's
Ooh.
fake. Um, so interesting. I was like, what are the cons according to these people, according
Hmm.
to these resellers? So we're gonna show these are the top 8 responses, and we're gonna go through these. Before I start, though, I do want to say that other people have been talking about, which on IG and on YouTube, how a lot of sellers have quit,
Ooh.
and honestly, I've seen it also in my own competition. At least the sellers that were really into it um, don't really see that often anymore.
Hmm.
And I've even had some people tell me, "Hey, I've been I've been working part time now." Um, Another guy went for a full time job. He's not working. So it's gonna. I mean, it's interesting on how and what's gonna happen, even the next 1 to 3 years. I mean, so much has changed since 2020, and that's when I think everything really shifted because we had stores closing. We had closed for a month or two. We had stimulus money. We had
Hmm.
market changes. We had low stock, and then there was overstock. We had clearance stock, and then a lot has changed, and so I mean we've seen it too, even on the live show. We have 60 something people here, but when I guess when reselling at its peak with let's say 2018, 2019, I mean
200
we had
people.
so many people that were just in it, in that
Mhm.
grind nonstop. But we know, and everyone else knows, it's not everyone's gonna stay with that, and nothing's wrong with that, but just that it's
Mhm.
not gonna last forever either.
Mhm.
Positive outcome 2020, great year for us. Sourcing code, I can tell sellers have quit by the amount of people that are now lined up at Nike for the Open.
Yeah.
That's very true too, man. 2018, late or early 2019, we had a
The line.
crowd
I
to
mean,
get
even
into
post
Nike.
2020, right?
Yeah,
2020, always a line.
yeah. Swoop man, what's up? Let's see, other sellers leaving isn't really a con to me. Oh no, that's not one of the cons.
No, no.
Cons have yet to find space for AI of your inventory. There you go, Josh Leva. Interesting thing though about the AI thing is that that's also gonna change a lot. I mean, it's already here, but
It is
when
wild.
it's like full effect, let's say the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, I don't know what it's gonna be. For the people that don't like change, you're
Oh,
gonna have a rough time.
it's I'm. It's crazy because I've told Glenn the first time I've used it, and then over the weekend I've had to like respond to some formal emails and proposals and ideas and stuff like that. Um, and like when you just don't have the juice, like I have the idea, bullet points, but I don't have the enough juice to actually make it look pretty. Man, Chat GPT helped me up, and after everything, I mean, I'm looking at it. I was like, man, this is how I imagined it to be. So for the record, I've used it 3 times already,
Oh, okay.
and I'm
Three.
getting really impressed. I'm getting really impressed.
All right, there we go. Edward's World, very nice. Still here, open mind or open to learning. Select goods, there he is. Shout out ChatGPT.
It's real. It's real.
The thing is too is that like there's so many kids. I mean, I don't know what college is gonna look like for my daughter, anything like
Mm.
that down the road.
She's
But I
gonna be
could.
the smartest person ever because she'll have access to Chat GPT off the rip.
That's true too. But the funny thing is, right now, is that the people that are in college, and even let's say the next 3 to 5 years in college, like what do you major in that's even going to
Makes
be
sense.
relevant and
You
make
just go
sense?
IT. Just go IT coding. I think that's the
Okay.
name of the game. I think
IT
that's the name
coding,
of the game.
computer science, do all that.
Yeah, it has to be. I feel like like right. We're thinking like what? We're 10 years, 15 years out of college. Is that where we're at?
I
No,
graduated
10,
2009, so
20 years.
no, go ahead.
Right, right. We're that long out of college, right? And imagine if you have the basis. If we had experience of, I mean, even just 10 years out of college coding, and then we knew that, right? And that just gives you such a leg up already. I mean, because if you think about it, right, like even the listings, right, like I'm terrible at like typing and everything like that, because like I tried to like, I'm not gonna need a computer typing class right now, next thing you know, like it's all we do. um so I think there's such a leg up if you do those stuff, because again, everything else can be learned and back read. As far as I think all my business course right now is something that I can just go into, enroll classes and get it.
Mm.
I mean, I've even thought about it now, like I could just go in and pay for classes and be like, and now there's Skillshare. There's professors teaching at Skillshare.com that you could learn. I mean, even Marquez MKB teaches at Skillshare.
Mm.
Like, how could you? What college are you gonna enroll to have the number one biggest tech YouTuber to be your teacher?
Ancient Morph. It'll be a while before we have robots that can do plumbing, electrical. That's all. All
That's
that's
true.
true. Yeah, that's
That's
true.
true. Yeah.
Because for me, I graduated with a graphic design degree,
That
and
one's gonna be helpful. Everything's gonna be graphic
well, dude,
design,
AI is already
digital.
creating logos like nothing.
No,
That's what
that
I'm
is
saying.
getting
There's no
wild.
need for
Like,
graphic designers.
that's true, because like you can even change the dress or change a hat or something
You
like
can
that.
do
Even
whatever you
editing,
want.
yeah, even editing now, like even the photos that I'm editing is like raw.
Yeah, AI, logos,
Yeah.
flyers, all of that stuff, it's already down. There's
Hmm.
literally no need for a design part. I'm pretty sure the marketing part will get there too. Accounting, if you're in I'm sorry, if you're in accounting, like dude, I'm telling you right now. I mean,
Yeah.
really, really think about this
Hmm.
before you're gonna graduate. Um, Let me see. You got graphic design, advertising design degrees, sneaker pickers. I'm just waiting for Skynet to take over. There go Josh Leva. Here's a question though. Maybe we'll do this for another episode. How will AI replace resellers? That's a question for you and the chat. I don't know. I mean, think about it for. We'll do a whole episode. We'll try to figure that
I
out.
already know my answer.
You already do know your answer?
It's not gonna replace, but it's gonna make a super buyer.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think it's gonna be a super buyer to where like
the
I can grab
research,
a yeah I
the
can grab a
research,
shoe and be like
it's
if I
the
really
research.
want this shoe,
Yeah, and I'll
take
be
me
like,
to it at this
yeah,
price at the lowest
yeah, I'll be like,
price.
what's ROI in this one in the next, if I want to sell this in the next 90 days?
Yeah. There
And
you
be
go.
like, chances of you selling this in the next 90 days is 89% with an ROI of 45%. At a storage cost of th- 3 cubic feet in your house, which your house can store 200 pairs. And then now, if you buy this, you have the opportunity to buy 199 more.
That's gonna help from the seller side, but what about the buyer side? You're thinking just like, hey, find this shoe for me at the lowest price, take me to
No,
it.
no, no. Buyers are gonna be buyers. Their buying habits are gonna be still. I
Bad.
want it now. I
True.
don't want to go through hoops. I just press a button.
All right. What about how's the fastest way for me to get this shoe? Take me to it. May not
Yeah,
be the cheapest, but what's the fastest way to get it?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Do we?
We'll talk about that in another show. Last chat GPT.
Hey, y'all don't know. This might not be Ken and Glenn.
It's AI. All right, let's get into our topic. Back to our topic. YouTubers say reselling is amazing, but don't tell you every detail. What are the cons? Here are the top 8 answers according to this open forum thing that they had here. Now, some, like I said, are pretty funny. Some might be legit. The chat has to tell me, do you feel like it's a legit con or not? Here's the first one. The big con is space to store all the stuff. YouTube makes it look like you buy an item and it sells the next day. So, is storage and space a con? Yes or no? One of the bad parts of reselling? Yes or no? What do you think? I mean, for me, I just feel like it's part of it. I mean, I don't
I
know
think
what.
if you're a full time, it's not a con because it's necessary. If
Mm,
you're part time, I think it's right because like I look at myself when I'm like when I'm still at an apartment, I was still able to make it. But
yeah,
if I didn't move, yeah, it's a problem.
true. But yeah, I guess that is true too. Like when you're just starting out, let's say you start at 10 items, you go to 20 items, 30 items. Yeah, where are you going to store it? And are you going to store it correctly? And is it also going to be easy to access? I mean, you can't just throw it wherever. You have to know where it is, be able to get to it. Um, and you also can't leave like older shoes in the garage and it's 100 degrees outside. They're
Yeah.
gonna start ungluing. They're gonna, a lot of things are gonna start to take apart your inventory. Intramore says storage is an issue, but I'd say the bigger part of the quote is the misconception of how quickly stuff sells.
Mm.
Okay. Um, yeah, because it depends what you have too, right? Like if you have a bunch of iPads and
Yeah.
you're undercutting everybody, yeah, of course it's gonna sell same
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Thousands of products, thousands of the iPad
Cell phones, right? Cell
done.
phones. Yeah.
Um,
Watches.
yeah,
I mean,
but in this case,
even electronics on like yeah. But if shoes, yeah, yeah, you there is you have to give up something. You have to give up something. Yeah.
well, I think for the most kids, let's say retail arb and the thrifting, yeah, stuff's not gonna sell same day.
Hmm.
You can even list stuff at $1. Doesn't mean someone's looking for that item.
Yeah.
It could just be an old, unpopular item that no one's looking for, and yeah, it's not gonna move. All right, let's go to the next one. So, do we say it's true or not? Let's see. More people said facts. True, true, yes. They said it is a con of reselling. Um, Having the space and the storage needed to do it.
Yeah, and also to like I think it's very important. I mean, geographically it matters, right? Like us here, we have basements in our most of our houses, so I think
It's
that's
true.
extra space, right? And then some places that's very high in rent, like Cali, if you're that's very I feel like I mean like even us, right? You and me is like we don't think it's an issue because it was easier. Like I could have rent another apartment, it's still been cheaper than everybody else's rent.
Well, Edward says, which I agree. I mean, I don't really feel like it's a con. I just feel like it's part of the game to where, like, if you created a business and you're selling any products,
Hmm.
I mean, that's one of the first issues you're going to run into is where you're going to put it.
Yeah.
Um, and so I feel like that's one of the things that you really have to try to figure out because you're not selling, like merch by Amazon. When I was doing that, they're print on demand. I have
Yeah.
nothing to do with inventory. And so that's a totally different ball game than
Yeah.
selling products, creating your own business. Let's go to number 2. According to this, they say relying on these websites for your income is a con. They can and will ban you without appeal. Top 1%, thousands of sales does not matter. You can be banned at any time.
Yeah.
Con. True or false?
False. Yeah, I'm not shady.
I would say, I honestly would say true on this. You know why? Because you're still relying on a third party platform that you have no control over. Now, if you created your own website, but you would have not, I'm not saying through Squarespace or anything, because that's still going through a third party, or Shopify, still a third party. You would literally have to create your own website, handle credit card payments, inventory, and everything on your own to where nobody could take you down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from policies, nothing, unless. But if you get hacked, if other things happen, then that's all on you too. So that's also, of course, going to be tough.
Yeah.
Coach Steve, true on Amazon. Sell with integrity. There we go. They will ban you if you give them a reason, sneaker picker. So see now people on the B side saying, hey, if I'm doing what's right,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. And
how is that a con?
if you're doing it really, really right, like perform well, know people as high as you can, build a social media following, get to know the families of eBay employees, and if they cross me and if they don't do anything, I mean, I can do some PR damage. They don't want that. So, so, because again, that's because you have done it straight, right? So, so I think you'll always have a case. Be true and have integrity.
There we
There you
go.
go, Glenn. Don't be afraid, Glenn. You're the straightest, you're the most straight shooter person ever. So you even take bad returns, so you'll be fine.
If you do the right things, follow the rules, you'll be okay. I've been
There you
selling for
go.
21 years, so there we go. I guess for me, I'm seeing it as like the mercy of the site, regardless.
Yeah,
Like let's say if you're constantly selling on Mercari, and then the next day Mercari shuts down,
yeah.
right? Like you're at the mercy of the platform.
Yeah, I think I mean, that's very valid. I mean, like anything could be bought out, merger, anything like that. But again, in the bigger scheme of things, right? Like worst case scenario, there's still so many platforms, right? Like I can put on my clown hat and go back to whatnot and
Clown
you
hat. This guy.
know what I'm saying? Like we can go there again and make a little profit here, a little profit there. We'd be fine, right? So I think at the end of the day, you still have the inventory.
Yeah,
So
true.
we put a table somewhere or something like that.
Oh man. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, that's so we're two down. This is an interesting conversation. I do like this. Chat's been very well. I like this. Hold on, let's see where I'm unfocused. Okay, number 3. The biggest con is that it's actual work. Find the item, prep it, photos, measure it, list it, store it, pick it, pack it, and ship it. It's man hours traded for money. It's literally just a job.
No,
Okay, so
that's
is that
fact.
a con? True or false? B.
It's like a trick question. Let's see. Yeah,
He's waiting
yeah.
for the chat.
All right. I'm not a trust fund baby. My parents aren't millionaires, so yes, it's a con. If I want to live life like a party or like highlight story on Instagram, giant con. Um, if my goal is to if my goal is the least put out the least work and get the maximum reward, reselling is the worst. I think you'd be better off getting a job and then just have your like a remote job. You know how those people put mouse movers on their thing?
Hmm.
And then because they track their computer, as long as their mouse moving, they're getting paid. I think that one's less work. But like reselling is it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Well, I feel like work. I mean, I guess that's true. I was gonna say that work is a lot of work, regardless. But the thing is that when I did work full time, it was kind of like, hey, you go into the office, you check Facebook for a little bit, you go to an IG for the next 30 minutes, you check emails, but then some people are watching a little bit of Netflix, and then, so there's some chill in there.
Yeah.
Um, but in this case, yes, it's a lot of work. I mean, but if you don't like it, you just work for someone else. But what I like about this is that even though it is a lot of work, I don't have to work for someone else or clock in or anything. I mean, because I already done that before. I mean, nothing wrong with that if you like it, but if you don't like it, then yeah,
Hmm.
that's a problem. But the con of it being actual work, that is also just life. I mean,
Yeah.
having a kid is a lot of work.
Oh,
Having
so Josh Leo said, "I'm gonna start selling at Ross too." That was funny. Did you see
oh,
that
the guy with the
video?
table, yeah,
Oh,
that's funny.
uh, yeah,
Posting is the worst, my opinion. Everything is work, Danny. Um, Work is work, babies work, families work, marriage is work, everything's work.
yeah,
Richard, I'd rather do resell and take my breaks whenever, however long I want to. Exactly.
yeah. I mean, really, like worst case scenario, I could work at Nike. I could work at Nike and just resell.
Until you get caught and taken
Huh?
down, until
Not
someone
gonna.
reports you. Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
it's
gonna get
yeah.
caught. I'm not gonna get caught. Not gonna caught.
Even to work out is work.
Oh,
Pass.
that that's why I'm in round shape. You know, I'm in shape, but just round shape.
Let me go back and see who said this was passive income. I want to start selling shoes at Ross too. Oh, there you go, Josh Leva. It's called Slow Lane Method. If you have an app or true passive income, it's called Fast Lane. Since true eBay is Slow Lane. There you go, Rory Matt, paying off the managers. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next con is finding quality inventory at a price that leaves room for profit and doing it on a consistent basis is a con.
It's all trick question, guys.
These
I I would say it's a con if you want an easy way, right? Like
okay.
it's a con if you listen to the YouTubers that make it look easy.
If you listen to the hustler hacks that's out there.
Right? I mean, like, oh, all you gotta do is go to one store. I mean, but one store every hour or one store at least every day. Um, yeah, I mean, it's work. I think it's again. I would say, yeah, it's a true statement. If if I was trying to do the least and get the most profit.
Scumbag researcher, can a con be the actual job? That's the fun part, not a con.
Ah, that is
Here's the,
true.
here's the
That's a good
thing
point.
though. I just feel like these are business related truths that come with playing this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go back to creating your own business. Let's say Hustlebee creates his own brand.
Mm-hmm.
He would still have to find quality inventory for someone to, let's say he wants to sell t-shirts first.
Yeah.
He has to find a supplier for shirts. Who's going to screen print or
Yeah.
embroider on the shirts at a quality price? What is his pricing going to look like? What are the profit margins going to look like?
Yeah.
How is he going to ship that out? Like that is what this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, it's a challenge. Like that's the most challenging part is to find that quality inventory that will sell and you're profitable on it. Um Not a con, but it ain't easy, Rory Matt. Edward says that I may agree on if you only source one way, only Ross and only one location once a day. But if you expand to local marketplaces, online resellers, liquidation stores, big box stores, suppliers, things like that, then yeah, you can mix that in. Sourcing is the fun part, but it can get rough. We know that.
Yeah.
Same thing with a business, having any sort of business. There goes Cernak. Reselling is hard and not for everyone. Sometimes having to answer to yourself is the toughest boss you can have.
Mm-hmm.
True to yourself. Sneaker flip find. You can also have to know your products. Some products are seasonal, meant to be held. Some are meant to be flipped quick because of sell through. Yeah, exactly. And also different platforms or like we know, whatnot stuff,
Yeah.
can sell quicker and maybe better profit margins than maybe it could on eBay or Amazon better than eBay and here and there. It's like you have to know. the
Yep.
products. Sneaker flip, exactly. Oh, there we go. Danny, watching the Being Glenn free education. That's how I learned. I like that. All right, here we go. We got 4 left. Here we go. Next one. Plain and simple. The inconsistent income as a con.
What's a con?
I agree. I think that is a con. I mean, because if you work for someone, you have that job that you know you're gonna get that amount no matter what.
Yeah, whether you do
Yeah,
a good job or not.
yeah. Whether you slack off or you're watching Netflix all day in your office, you're getting a check first of the month for that amount. You're in paid
Yeah.
salary. You're good to go. Now this game, you're going to have to work hard at it, find those products, push yourself to sell, explore different avenues of sourcing. Capital comes into play. There's so many things that happen there. Inconsistent income. If you're not prepared for that, is like Richard says, this is the biggest con of this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Not inconsistent if you're willing to clear into when the time is right, Danny. So you'll have capital coming back. But not necessarily profitable income, but money will come back to you. Interim of quiet quitting. Cernox says, how many people open their own restaurant without knowing what it all entails? Most of them shut down within the first 3 years. Owning your own business isn't easy.
Yep.
And imagine having a restaurant, let's say late 2019, and then 2020 comes around, and you have to close for a month or two.
Yeah.
And then when you do come back, you have restrictions, masks.
Yeah, less people.
Less people in your
traffic,
restaurant. You're not prepared. No one's prepared for a lot of these things that just happened.
Yeah.
I mean, and
that's why you sell online.
the overhead is different.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm in constant communication with a lot of people that have stores now. All of a sudden, selling online is like the best thing ever.
Danny, all business is a risk. I own 3 already, failed 2 times. Keep trying if you got the drive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Either that or just scam once and exit, buy an island and live an island life. Scam so big and disappear in Asia.
No, you see, this is B
No,
just talked about integrity and being truthful. Now it's telling you to go to Asia.
Hey, we're talking about con, right? That's the biggest con. Becoming a con man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a legit con.
That's a legit con. I mean, like
integrity.
Wow.
Select goods. Wow.
Wow.
All right, we got 3 left.
You gotta have open mind. Open to just in case, right? Just in
case.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be an hour show because B's gonna put his clown hat on and go to work rapidly. When we're done with this, so all right, let's go to the next one. Next con. More competition than ever before compared to 5-10 years ago. Plus, stores have wised up on raising prices. Reselling con.
That's false.
All right, B said that. That's false.
Man.
Let's see the chat. Select Good says, Let me read it again. More competition than ever before compared to 5-10 years ago. Plus, stores have wised up on raising prices.
Yeah. Bro, I think 10 years ago, people were a lot more resilient. Now, some pain, they fall off.
They break.
That's
Let me see. That's like the sourcing one. I disagree. Resellers drop quick. Be better than the competition. This also I think to me goes back to our first conversation if you don't like change,
Hmm.
AI is gonna slap you real quick. And
Do
you're
you,
talking about competition 5, 10 years ago.
yeah. Do
Things are
you
changing daily.
do you believe that the older we get, the change happens faster?
Hmm.
Like just technology wise. Like I feel like do you, chat, do you believe that moving forward, right? Because like what, it took us a while to have fingerprint scanners, right? It took us a while. Now all cameras on the phones are nice. Um, Now there's change, right? And then now we're at a point where you can do Google Lens,
Hmm.
right? And then we're at a point that you talk to Google and Google responds and controls your house. Do you believe that it's gonna, we think that it's gonna be like, oh, 5, 10 years later, but I feel like the reality is it's gonna be maybe two, three,
Yeah.
four.
Yeah.
You
No.
know,
True. Yeah. Yeah. That I do see. But I
it's
also feel like
evolving.
there's a huge gap like between like my parents and your parents.
Yeah,
From like at our age, like we've seen VHS to DVD to Blu-ray to
yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
But I feel like there's a huge gap there from like the 60-plus-year-olds to
Right,
like
because all they did was
understand the new
like
stuff.
VHS was their it, right?
Mm.
VHS was like, man, the renting VHS, right? Like you don't have to own it, you just have to rent it, right? You don't have to store 50 VHS, and then just the giant leap of like now we got a computer in our hand, right? From
Yeah.
having a giant computer now to like having a computer in our hand.
I feel like Blu-ray only lasted a few years. Sticker pictures,
That's
I
true.
know, and they were expensive too when they came out.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back. There's good comments in here. Let me see. So people saying true and false. Like some, like maybe the first part true or false. The second part, stores have wised up on raising prices. I would say yes and no. Thrifting, which some people said in the chat, I definitely agree on that part. I mean, I've seen Savers, Goodwill, I've seen all of these definitely raise up their prices throughout the years. Um, Ross, Marshalls, I don't know because I mean, you can still find $20 cleats, and they've been 20 for, you know, I don't know, 8, 10 years already.
Hmm.
Some stuff has been a little bit priced more than others, but we've also seen like $50 shoes, $65 shoes, and that's kind of been there as well. But then I don't know all the full back end on Ross and Burlington, how much they pay to get the items either.
Hmm.
But for them to sell cleats at $20, they must have gotten them dirt cheap from Nike. I mean, that's insanely cheap. Um, Competition wise, I mean, we've been hearing that since the channel came out and I was showing Ross finds. People have been complaining about the competition from the very beginning. I mean, that's not going to change. But I would also look from the competition side of it is, and also the pricing wise is like economy, and the things that we've gone through the last, 5 to 10 years in general as well, and how much that has also changed. Let me see. Thrift stores charging more since Macklemore ruined the best kept secret. There we go.
What happened?
Just a song like thrift
Oh,
store
oh,
song.
oh, oh, oh.
Let me see. So you're saying instant eBay payments are coming fast, sneaker pickers. Technology is just booming to where we're just gonna get instant payment on offers.
Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. If you want instant payment, you don't sell on eBay. Simple. Right? You
Let me.
sell on whatnot, you get your money like that.
Mm, uh, Let me see. Oh, look how much the internet and smart mobile devices have changed things in the last 10 years alone. They made the gig economy possible, something no one would have dreamed of less 20 years ago, Intramorph. Yeah, and the opportunities that are there now that I get kind of like, I get kind when I say this, people don't like it. I'm always kind of like, hey, it's 2023. There's thousands of ways to make money online, and people still want to get a degree and get a job. Now, when I
Mm.
don't mean this in a bad way, as far as like because I chose a different route, kind of because I still got the degree and did all that. But when I say this to like family members and things like that, they're just like, "But I'm not interested in that. I don't care about that." But I feel like but it's also important to still be in that relevancy of technology and the way things are changing to make money online and to do other things, because I feel like the degree thing is just old school way of thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you are going for doctor and
Yeah, I feel
extreme,
like
and
yeah,
that's a
like
different case. But
I feel like it's more of like a specialist, right? If you're a specialist, because we, to be honest though, like like Western world, there's so many stiff requirement, right? You
mm,
could be the most self-taught doctor. I don't know if that's a thing, right?
mm,
And then you still can't operate here because there's laws, right? Or I could be the best lawyer or defender, but I don't have the diploma. I can't operate on the judicial
mm,
system.
mm,
But in business, that's why it's a different game. You don't need a diploma, right? I feel
mm,
like it's such an interesting. I think it's the best level like even playing field, because in business you don't even have to have your own money. You
true,
can have people back you up.
true.
Um, I think that's the biggest difference. Now, if you want to work in institutions, or I think you have to have a degree, no matter what, right? Um, but if you want into the new, because I know coders now don't have to have degrees. You can get good jobs without degree. You just, because it's a skill, it's a test of skill. Kind of like what we talk about the plumbers and everything like that. I understand there's certification that you have, but I think it's not as rigid as other things. So yeah, I think if you're hungry for information and learning, it's access as easier than ever.
Mm. There we go. We got two left. Here we go. Next one. It is lonely. No social interaction as a con.
That's a con.
All right. B says straight up. That's a con. He's.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat says. I mean, we're here interacting with each other. Look at that. We got the chat. We got.
Glenn Vaynerchuk.
Was that Wes? Wes.
Well,
Danny says that's a con. A sneaker flip fine. That is true. Um, they got to hit those stores and interact. We share information every week, Danny. Um, yes, I think it is a con, but you can search different ways to interact with people. Like,
yeah.
B's going to a conference, right?
See,
In
I
a
th- I
couple of
think
days.
I think the reselling, it's not like you have automatic friends. I would say, right? Because
Mm.
I feel like if you work on a school, you all have co-teachers. Like you are like you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice but to interact with people. Now us, we don't have a choice to not like it's given that you have zero interaction off the rip. So it's an effort to interact with people, while other industries it's an effort not to interact with people. Right? Don't you think? Because
Yeah.
like let's say if I work at Nike, retail, you're forced to interact with people. So I feel like it's the two extremes.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, when you have a regular job, yeah, you're gonna have coworkers that you did not choose.
Yeah.
Those are your
Exactly.
coworkers. You're gonna talk to them whether you want to or not. You might even date one of them,
Yeah.
which
You
I
just, you
dated a
just,
coworker as well,
yeah.
and it's kind of funny though because when you break up, which we
It's
eventually
awkward.
did, I realized that me and her, what we really had in common was
Just
work.
work.
Yeah, we just worked at the same place. Like other
Yeah. It
than
was it
that,
was
like
convenient.
yeah, other than that, it's like yeah, you're not interesting. So it's kind of like funny there. But it is a lonely part, I guess, if like you're in that grind mode, you're doing your own thing, and I kind of
Mhm.
like that though. I think I kind of like not having to, going back to the boss part. You have four bosses. At one point I had four bosses, and each of them were telling me how to do certain things.
Yeah.
What they
Yeah.
One of them wants it done this way, other one wants it done this way. Which way is right? I don't know. And that gets old real quick. And
Yeah.
that's the interaction that I definitely do not miss.
I Intramore said, "I'll take no interaction over office politics any day."
That's see, there we go. We just mentioned
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that one. Yeah, corporate bull crap.
Hate that. Um, Plenty of interaction. Look at the other resellers as a community and not competition. There's room for all of us to make money. There you go, Josh Leva.
Yeah, because I think if you truly understand it, I think if you think everybody's a competition, you have a small mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because that means that we're only sourcing on two stores.
Yeah.
But there are so many deals that can happen that you don't like. You can't do it on your own. Like, to a point, like, I wish we could have like a reseller funding or something like that we all put money in and we just find the best bulk deal and then just get it.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, Glenn, you list 100, you list 100, you list 100, you ship 100, you ship 100, and we all win and we'll all eat. I mean, a
True.
perfect world, that would be it, right? Like, we
Yeah.
just get a warehouse.
I had a local reseller sell me a ton of hats. He
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, like, I know you're selling them, you're moving them. I think you'll do better with them."
Yeah.
Even though he made a little bit on top, I was like, "Yeah, I could definitely make money on that." I was like, "All right, that's cool." I had another reseller that we worked together on because he mostly sells in Mexico. And like,
Mhm.
I was like, "Hey, you could probably do better with this over there." I make a little bit, he makes more, but it's a different market. Cool, we work together. I have another reseller in my area that like this dude can't stand me. I've seen him here and there. I don't say
Mhm.
what's up anymore. At one point we were cool. I don't care. He doesn't like me. Cool. But if you're
Mhm.
own stuck in your own little mindset there, cool. Stay in your own little world. But if you want to work with others, there's different possibilities that can happen instead of like B said straight looking at it as like, hey, competition. Like,
Yeah.
oh, scary. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Um,
like, there's always gonna be a bigger fish.
yeah,
Like,
for
if
sure.
you act like that, bro, you're gonna get like, next thing you know, you're trying to intimidate, or somebody smaller. Next thing you know, you're gonna get swallowed up from somebody behind. That's why I'm not like. That's why I don't want to be a bully. I don't want to like look down on anybody, because I've met so many people that could, if they see like, man, B, that was out of line, B, and they would just crush me, because they feel for the small guy.
Yeah.
That's why, like, there's just so many big people. It's just wild.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy.
once
And
you
you
open
never know
your
who you're gonna
eyes,
meet too.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah,
and you know that one reseller that you don't know has a different connection that you're like, what? Like I
yeah,
never would have known. Like
yeah.
that's so I don't know. Keep an open mindset, but
Rashard got your back. Said,
oh,
drop the
Rashard's
name.
ready to take people out. I like that.
Dude, imagine if we have a giant meet. Maybe we can make this happen. If, yeah, we pull up on El Paso, like, on Glenn's on Glenn's 25th birthday. We pull
25th. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. On Glenn's 25th birthday, we all have a giant meetup in El Paso and just rent like a limo, and then we just all source. The
All
limo would
sorts.
like two or three limos, just source. And then be like, oh no, this is a con. This is what we're talking. This is it. The Hustler Hacks has ruined El Paso.
Ruined
That's
it. This
it.
guy's a con. This is a
Huh?
con. There we go. All source Glenn's a route.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, out hustled. We'll think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's our last one. According to this, the last con returns, buyers, and customer service.
Wow.
um, if you don't like customer service and you're in business, you're gonna have a rough time. And matter of fact, eBay makes it easy in customer service because you just have to answer a DM or a message. Try customer service in person.
Oh.
Try try customer service over the phone. That's a different ball game.
Yeah,
How was your customer service on the phone?
bro. I wasn't customer service. I was sales. I was trying to sell to people.
You
Um.
would send them to customer service.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have you
Like.
have a problem? Let me transfer you right
Yeah.
away.
But I think, yeah, like, that's one of the things that coming from the phones, right? I mean, still is like, oh man, people are rude, right? But now when you can type everything and you could just no emotions, he's like stone cold, like so like I don't care if you send me a 50 paragraph story about why you bought the wrong shoe. You went through authentication, no returns. I cannot help you. Please contact eBay customer service. That's me. That's me. Even like Poshmark lowballers, bro. I got lowballed, a $200 shoe. He offered 50. I gave him a $1 discount, and I went to his store and offered $1 offer in his item. Yeah, I'm petty. Like there's
I'm
this lady
bad.
going back and forth with me. Once 50% off, right? You know what I did? I accepted her offer. Like it was $150 shoe. She paid $60, right? Accepted her offer. Waited for 3 days and canceled that sale.
This guy. We just talked about integrity. We talked about.
And I took that personally. That's what I did. And she's like, "What happened?" And I said, "Oh, we realized it's out of stock."
Oh man,
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
having fun out here.
We're having fun. We're
We're
having
having
fun. With
fun.
all this cons, we gotta put some fun.
I hope eBay is listening to this.
No, eBay, we can't do that on eBay, Neri.
we
We can't do that, right? That's why we do it on other platforms, not on eBay.
Not
You
on eBay.
can't mess around with eBay.
We got. Let me go back up and see. Cernak says, go work in a restaurant if you think providing customer service is hard.
Yeah.
Did you ever work restaurant? B or
I
server?
I own a
Or...
coffee shop. I
That's
own a
right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. It's like, it's not hot enough. I'm like, what do you do? Like, do boiling hot, which you can't do. You can't do.
Yeah.
You can't do, right? That's why, like, I'm just savage and on the in the DMs and stuff like that. But yeah, like, like food, right? Even like medical, right? You can't fight back.
Mm.
Like like you're a nurse, right? I feel bad for all the Filipino rude person, right? Like, oh man, I'm gonna choke your blood supply or your oxygen supply. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. That's why all of y'all here should just stay in reselling. Y'all savages. You can't be in a life depending industry. Imagine if Sneakers Envy, he's a pharmaceutical and just adds doses to your thing
Oh man.
because you're rude.
Because you're rude. Don't know why you piss off the people handling your food. It says intramorph.
Yeah.
Gonna give you a laxative. B turned into demon time. Rashard. Yeah, B went all in on this con of a customer service.
Yeah, yeah.
I did work retail. I didn't really have to. I worked more in the warehouse. I didn't really have to like.
You hid. You hid.
Yeah,
That's what
I didn't have
happened.
to worry with customer service issues. The only time they really got mad at customer service is when I didn't speak or understand Spanish.
And you're
Um,
Spanish.
for
And you
me,
look
having
Spanish.
this brown skin.
Oh,
But like I said, the name tag said Glenn. That threw them off. So
yeah.
then they were kind of like,
He's like,
well,
he probably don't work here.
yeah. His name doesn't fit, but he's brown,
Yeah.
so he has to speak Spanish, and then they didn't like that. But other than that, customer service wasn't really. I guess I wasn't really thrown into that mix. But the eBay side, yeah, if you don't have your feelings in there, answer it. As a business owner,
Yeah. Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, we're actually done.
No.
Almost right on time too. What are you selling
Yeah.
tonight?
Oh, everything.
Okay, you're
We're selling
clearancing
shoes.
stuff out.
Yeah, I got some one-off items, so
Mm,
resellers, y'all might get it at Ross pricing. So,
okay, there you
so
go.
yeah,
Rory
so
Mac. There you go. Rory Mac.
a la glean.
Hola, hola, Glean. All right, we're done here. This is a good show. I like the
I
conversation.
forget. I like. I was like everything. I had to make it light because as soon as I saw the title, I'm like, oh man, we're just gonna talk about problems tonight,
Oh yeah, no, it was
right?
good convo. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sorry. The B, yeah, the trolls was outrageous.
oh yeah, so eBay Live. You want to talk a little bit about that before you go? eBay
Yeah,
Live. You did have a nice
for
promotion and everything like that, right?
yeah,
How many? What was the highest on there? I was there in the
11.
beginning, but
Yeah, we had 11,000 people go
that
through.
is wild.
Yeah, and their server didn't mess up.
Yeah.
I just almost had a heart attack because I realized that I can't relist stuff on eBay yet.
Mm,
I was like, man, what if all these items are just troll bidders?
hmm.
And but I think I scared them. I scared them when I said, "Oh, don't worry, eBay's looking at all these trolls." And you know how eBay is. Everything's connected to your IP, to your ID, and your
Yeah,
location. So
exactly.
if
It's
you
different
lose
than the
one,
whatnot side.
yeah, one aside, you just make no accounts. So after like three, and I've said that, and because it was, I mean, we didn't drop viewers; it would just keep climbing. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, and I was like, because like eBay customer, I mean, my eBay rep was like saying, hey man, hang in there, hang in there. We're trying to do anything, but there's really nothing you can do. How are you gonna stop bidding,
Yeah.
right? So next thing you know, all those people that messed up their bid, accidentally bid, gave me paragraphs of explanation how sorry they were. So I was like, "Oh, now you think it's serious, huh?" Because
Yeah, because I would.
it could link to your IP that even your wife can't open anything.
True. So it's kind of almost like, man, you're out here trolling, running this up, and you're using your actual eBay account.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the smartest move
So
to.
I think that's like, cause like I was thought about that. I was like, man, this is bad, right? Because right now we can't kick people out yet.
Mm,
We can't ban people yet. So I was like, man, that was that was scary. Cause like like good thing it was like sudden death. Because imagine if it was sudden death, we'd be sitting there for hours.
yeah, true.
Because the dude would just at 10 seconds.
Add 10 seconds every time.
Huh?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's. You can get a VPN. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, not
Yeah,
everyone has one, though,
no,
but you
I don't.
can.
You can't bid as guest. So,
Oh.
so it has to be a legit account to bid.
Mm,
Um, but you can still buy as a guest. So if your real identity gets hammered, you can still buy it. But I think a lot of them probably were like haters or resellers or something like that, right? I think like
or just
if you're just
trolls because it's something new and they.
yeah. If you're a buyer, I don't think you'll have time to troll if you're a real buyer. I think if you're a hater, then it's like, oh man, let me ruin this guy's show, and then
Mm,
you realize like, oh crap, yeah,
interesting. Well, hopefully you get, 10, 12, 15K and it just
yeah.
booms because, I mean,
And the
I
most
think
we've
eBay Live, I'm excited. I mean, I want to see it do
Yeah,
well.
we'll
So,
see. I mean, like, there's definitely some new features that they're making every month. There's like something new, so we're learning through that. But I think it'd be fun. I mean, also me and Glenn will have a project going on later down the road with eBay,
hmm
so we're gonna be able to like uh did the troll payments clear. I wish.
yeah, the $2,000 ones and so
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly. All right, guys. Go
yeah,
watch the B. He'll be on clearancing some
yep,
stuff. Maybe get some good deals.
yep.
And
See you and
we'll see you
whatnot,
on
guys.
Friday's video. So, all
Yep.
right. See ya. Go out and get it. And thanks for hanging out. Peace.